Obsessing over what breaks your fast is going to mean that you are likely just to get short-term success with intermittent fasting. It's going to make the whole process seem very complicated and restrictive when it's not. Hey guys, Max here, online coach, fat loss expert, intermittent fasting advocate with over 10 years experience. This is the question I get asked the most. What breaks your fast when you're intermittent fasting? The answer I'm going to give you is based on my 10 years experience working with thousands of people one-on-one to help them achieve long-term fat loss success, but also with my work with Dr. Adam Collins, who is a professor at Surrey University and is leading some of the research on intermittent fasting and time-restricted eating. Dr. Adam Collins and I created an intermittent fasting short course which goes deep into the benefits, the mistakes, the history of intermittent fasting and teaches you everything that you need to know about it, so you can check out that below in the links. I work with people to improve their relationship with food and find sustainable fat loss success, sustainable results. Obsessing over what breaks your fast is going to mean that you are likely just to get short-term success with intermittent fasting. It's going to make the whole process seem very complicated and restrictive when it's not. Usually, if someone asks me, does this break your fast? I'll ask my own question, which is, why are you intermittent fasting? Is it for weight loss, improved energy levels and reduced hunger? Or is it for autophagy and breaking down damaged proteins and recycling cells within the body? I'm going to guess that 90% of people who are watching this video are more interested in fat loss, improved energy levels and reduced hunger. So I'm going to answer this for you. First of all, the way that I'm going to answer this question is by busting a fasting myth, that fasting is a magic pill for fat loss. It isn't. It can be an incredibly effective tool for weight loss, improving energy and reducing hunger, but the fat loss benefits come from being in a calorie deficit, not because of some kind of magical fat burning process that happens without a calorie deficit. And obviously it makes perfect sense that it makes it easier to lose weight when you're intermittent fasting because you're restricting the time in which you can consume calories, thereby making it more difficult to eat more calories. And really the reason why I'm so passionate about intermittent fasting as a weight loss tool is because you get to eat big, satisfying meals and lose weight. So it really improves your relationship with food at the same time. Let me know in the chat below if you're eating big, satisfying meals and losing weight with intermittent fasting. Now we are clear that the fat loss benefits of intermittent fasting come from being in a calorie deficit. We can answer that question of what breaks your fast in a way that most intermittent fasting zealots do not answer. So technically, anything that contains any calories has the potential to break your fast. So if you're going to be very strict and restricted with it, then that means no milk in your coffee, no milk in your tea, no lemon in your water, and no protein shake after your workout. But if you're going to be strict and restricted with it, you're only going to get short-term results. So remember, I'm going to say it again, the fat loss benefits of intermittent fasting come from being in a calorie deficit. So that being said, a splash of milk in your coffee or your tea is probably not going to take you out the calorie deficit. The little bit of lemon juice in your water, again, probably will not take you out of being in a calorie deficit. And a protein shake with minimal sweeteners and additives just mixed with water will probably not take you out of being in a calorie deficit and therefore not ruin your fat loss efforts. Intermittent fasting Puritans will not like the way that I have answered this question. And to be honest, if you'd asked me this question 5 years ago, I may have given you a very different answer. But now that I've worked with thousands of people from all over the world over a 10-year career, I can say that black and white thinking like this, labeling milk in your coffee as bad, lemon juice in your water as bad, that is going to create a whole host of problems and lead to you feeling restricted and deprived, which again means you won't get long-term success. Be wary of anyone that tells you that having a splash of milk in your coffee is going to ruin your fasting efforts, because it's completely untrue. Many people enjoy milk in their coffee and they're never going to enjoy black coffee. And really what I teach my clients is how to enjoy the process of whatever they're doing. If you're not enjoying it, it won't become a way of life. So what about sugar and sweeteners in your tea and your coffee? This is a slightly different question. You know, a tablespoon of sugar almost certainly won't take you out of being in a calorie deficit and therefore not ruin fat loss efforts. However, in my personal experience and experience with clients, that actually adding sugar and sweeteners can make you feel hungrier and make you crave more sweet things over the rest of the day. Most of my clients are trying to reduce their overall added sugar intake, and the biggest win that you can have, the first step, is to stop adding sugar and sweetener to your tea and coffee. What about butter in your coffee? Well, butter contains a shit ton of calories, and you could very easily push yourself into a calorie surplus by having a load of butter and MCT oil in your coffee. The butter won't necessarily stop you from using fat for fuel, but let's also bust another myth whilst we're at it, and that is that just because you are utilizing fats, you're in ketosis, you will automatically lose weight. It doesn't work like that. Again, you must have the calorie deficit. You could be in a state of ketosis, you could have cut out all carbohydrates, but if you're in a surplus, if you're eating too much fat, you're not going to lose weight. So what if you are fasting for the process of autophagy, which is essentially your body's innate cell cleaning mechanism? Most research suggests that you're not going to get autophagy benefits unless you're fasting for more than 24 hours. So anyone that is fasting for less than that doesn't need to worry about it. But if you do want to practice that, then yeah, being a bit stricter, sticking to a bit of salt into your water so that you hydrate better, black coffee, black tea, herbal tea is going to be the best way of doing that. So probably if you are asking the question of what breaks your fast, you are going to be new to intermittent fasting. If you want to make the most of intermittent fasting, if you want to ease into the process gradually and not experience any of the negative side effects, then check out my 30-day reset, which will teach you how to automate the process of fat loss so it becomes a way of life, and that is without calorie tracking or having to spend hours in the gym. Check out that link below. That's all from me today. Let me know if it's been useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and stay tuned for more fat loss and fitness content.